Hey guys, BottleTopHornet here. Let's build a gold farm. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. As I said, my name is BottleTopHornet, and it's finally time. This episode, we're going to put together my own version of a gold farm. I'm going to try not to follow necessarily a tutorial or anything off YouTube. I have the idea of how the mechanics behind basic gold farms work, and I think I can come up with a design myself. It doesn't have to follow somebody else's, and we'll see whether I can make something that provides a decent amount of gold for a piglin trading hall. So as you can see, I'm collecting up as many blocks of magma as I can, because I'm going to want to make all my spawning platforms out of this. So I've already gathered a couple off camera, a couple of shulkers off camera, because I spent a lot of time I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that my computer was back up and running after the debacle that was whatever happened in that last episode. But now that everything's smoothly running again and I'm back in operation, I'm excited to get this gold farm on the move and, yeah, have a bit of fun this episode. So I'm going to spend a bit more time collecting up as much of this as I can, and hopefully get enough to build up a decent sized farm. We've got our eggs from the last episode, and yeah, in a second I'll show you the hole that I've managed to create in the nether roof. And after a quick pit stop back home, I've got all the things that I think I need to get me started, and I've ended up with about nearly like a couple of blocks away from 5 full shulker blocks of magma blocks. So that should, from what I've done calculating wise, it should be more than enough. And we got the 25 turtle eggs in there. These trapdoors to contain the turtle eggs so that the guys can't get to them, although we might need a few more trapdoors for them not to fall over, but we can use these ones here. So if I just want to make sure that I'm ready to go before I before I leave for the nether. I want to get up there and I want to do it in one big hit if possible. So yeah, we've got eggs, we've got trapdoors, we've got magma blocks. Ooh, I know that somewhere in one of these chests I have a Frostwalker pair of boots. I think. Maybe I have a Frostwalker book. Let's have a look. There it is. Okay, so we should make up a pair of Frostwalker boots, but also make it up in a way that if we decide to turn it into netherite in the future, then it's going to be worth it. So for starters, we can just add it to the feather falling, and we know that in the future we can add more. All right, let's combine this then, and then we can go knowing that we are more than prepared. And I'll just combine those as well. Make sure it's cheap. There we go. Okay, so I have Frostwalker boots so I can walk around on the magma blocks easily. I've got the trapdoors for setting up all the mechanisms as far as what the piglins will walk over, as well as containing my eggs. Okay, let's have a look at this hole in the nether ceiling. And let me tell you, this took a long time. We can just nail this here. Ah. Look at that. Oh no, not you. Excuse me. Thank you. I actually haven't been back here for a while since I finished it, and man, that looks impressive. That is a 5x5 hole in the nether roof through the bedrock. Now let's fly up top here, and as you can see, I have done some work. I'm so impressed with myself for doing this. It's just incredible to look at. I use black concrete to fill in any gaps in the bedrock, and I've covered it in glass so that technically nothing up here is still everything up here is still spawn proof, so there's no way that anything can spawn. And yeah, look at that. Now, the more that I thought about it, the more I realized I really don't like this section here at all. And what I think I'm going to do, that guy just killed himself, is... How did that go through you? Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're still getting all our achievements back. If I open up the chat, you can see that, other than a few errors, I moved some diamond and some netherite, and I got the achievements for that as well, so always impressive. But what I think I want to do is, much like this is like a domed section, but like a flattened out pod of sorts, I want to do something like that hanging from the roof up there with a couple of smaller pods on the side. One that is a landing station and another one that's like a storage room, so that if there's overflow in my main storage for the gold and whatnot, I can make up blocks and put them in there in the secondary smaller pod like we have over here, and so that like I don't fill up this area, the Piglin Trading Hall, with unnecessary storage. So I think I'll add that maybe at the end of the episode, or I'll do it in the next episode, and we'll change the look of that and have it hanging by chains as well, so it looks a little bit more substantial and a little bit more impressive than this weird thing. I just don't like it. But what I do want to do is work out my AFK spot. Now I have enough scaffolding that it'll be less than 128 blocks, because what I want to happen is for these piglins to drop through the gold farm, but once they pass 128 blocks away from the player, they instantly despawn. So I want to make sure that they're not despawning before they hit my collection pad. So with these two combined, that's 112. I probably won't quite go 112. I might go about 110, 108 or something. But I need to work out the spot where I'm placing my hoppers. And I think I'm going to do it not that far from the top of here, but still far enough away that I can fly through when necessary, because this is obviously going to be my main entrance up into the upper nether, above the nether roof. So what I'm going to do is quickly, I don't have any blocks. I'm going to grab some blocks. The easiest way for me to do that is not like that, because I'll fall. Oh, goodness. Let's just remove the annoyance. And what I'm trying to do is get rid of these little shelves just in case my, because I'm going slightly lower than 128 blocks, just in case that means that these areas are potentially in a spawnable zone. So I can just come grab all this, use this to supply myself with a few construction blocks, and it also has the added benefit of removing any potential spawning spots. Okay, so with a few stacks of scaffolding material that isn't actually scaffolding, I'm going to come across and find myself the center of this platform, which is the center of my 5x5 hole. And I'm going to come up a few more blocks here, leaving a little bit of space on the outside so that I can get past it and fly up when I need to. And this is probably going to be basically the top section of the dome room that is like our nether hub over there. And if I just go here like so, this spot is going to represent the pad that of, what do you call them, hoppers that they're going to fall on. So this is my killing floor. With that, it's just time to stack. So I'm going to go up until I have, let's work it out. Let's say until I have 4 scaffolding left overall. That is not how you do that. Okay. So, up at the top of that stack of scaffolding is going to be our AFK zone. But what I realized that I probably want to do is bring some glass with me. So, of course, you always forget something. Okay, glass is acquired. Let's see if we can fly all the way up to the top of our stack up here. And that is deceiving the eye. Alright. So, ooh, bit of weird load in there. But if we try very carefully, I hate trying to do this. Okay, that's not too bad. Up here is 224. So it's still a little distance away from the highest point that I could build, but I don't actually want to go that high because, like I said, I want my platform where they die to actually be inside of the nether cavern itself. So I don't want to go far enough away that, you know, it doesn't spawn. So what I'm going to do is craft myself a small platform that is where I'll AFK. So I'll be able to put a lid on this eventually. We can have our ender chest and everything set up in here. And this is the spot where I can stand knowing that the guys are going to spawn below me. Now, for my first spawning platform, we're going to go basically down to 200. because I think 24 blocks is the distance that is required for spawns to begin. Just to be safe, we might go down to about 195 or 196. So if we hop on here, like so, place a block there so we can get back on top whenever we need. And we'll get ourselves down to the height of our first layer. I'm going to go 98. Yeah, something like that. So with that, I actually need a platform to build off. Let's go like this. So actually how I want to do this is mark out just with these blocks here the different heights at which I will be placing my platforms. So if the first one is there, we come down 2 blocks, and I don't know how I can do this. I think like this. It works, but it doesn't work. That is actually the height, but it's not how I wanted it to go. Okay. So I'm going to set up a bunch of heights, which are my platform heights. And we're going to work out how many we get before we get too close to the roof of the nether here for whatever reason. I'm just going to see how many layers that I can create. And by the looks of it, I can just stand on the edge of a block and actually place it down 3. So 1, 2, 3, like so. Thank goodness for Elytra. Let's try that again. Okay, it was a little deceiving from the top, but it does look like we'll still get quite a few layers. Oh goodness. I'm failing. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So, oh dear. I am so good at this game. My goodness. Okay. Now, doing it the proper way, we can go 1, 2, 3. I'll get rid of this now that I don't need the information up on the screen. And we're going to continue down until I feel it's good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spawning platform heights already. And flying away from a distance, that is 15. And I think that's a decent size. I don't want to have it running so fast that I don't know how to make a system that can actually collect and distribute and get rid of all the resources that quickly. I just want to make it as fairly basic. And for me, having that gap up here as well means that getting up past this and up to my AFK zone is also going to be easy as. So what I'm going to do now is probably pop into a time lapse of me just doing the grind work and building up 15 platforms. I might quickly set up just a little hopper system down there below that has a couple of chests attached to it, because it's likely that as I'm building these platforms, stuff's going to eventually start spawning. Even though I probably won't put the eggs in till the end, there might be a chance that some are going to fall in, and as soon as I start putting the eggs in themselves, they're definitely going to start running towards them and popping down into this area. So I'll set myself up with a couple of hoppers, and then we'll get to placing. And welcome back in. You should see the view on the other direction from where I'm looking right now. Are you ready? How cool does that look? So it's sort of there. All we have to do is just add the eggs and the trapdoors around them as we go up. And this thing's going to start pouring zombified piglin down onto this killing platform. Now, I think what I'm going to do is add the eggs, make sure everything's up and running, and maybe AFK for like 5 minutes just to see what it's like what the rates are like. And then we'll come back down here, clear out this area, and I'm honestly thinking I might pop into another time lapse, just dismantle this whole section, and maybe build up the start of my... Oh wait, where am I looking? The start of my next version of this. Because yes, I definitely want to have something like that. And then imagine where that beacon is being the top where this is. Look at that that mix up of all these different hoppers and stuff. Hopefully it's distributed fairly evenly. But yeah, so that sort of section being the top where that is. And then we have a pod to sort out our gold nuggets away from all the rotten flesh and everything like that, which we can dispose of. But first, let's jump up and see if we can get these eggs in place. And I think the easiest way for me to do it is probably to do it from the bottom up. I'm really not exactly sure how I'm going to manage it, but we're just going to wing it. For starters, I'm going to just start creating my column of these trapdoors. And I think what I'm going to do is on every single level at the height of like eye height, I'm going to place the egg and then quickly put some trapdoors around it if I can. So, like so. And if we can just, not panic, hopefully. And like so. I don't think I have to crouch. Yeah, okay. And then all I have to do is open these, destroy the blocks, and that's level 1. So I'm going to have to fly out. I probably need to go collect a few more rockets, but we'll fly around into each individual layer and start placing in all the eggs. So with a bit of luck, as we start to add all these layers on there, the pigmen should start pouring in. So I'm going to make up this, and I want to see whether or not, when I leave, whether or not they start to move in. I don't know why they can't see that right now. It might have something to do with the block that's sitting on top. So when I remove these two in here, do they start moving towards it? I'm going to drop down to the bottom and see whether or not this entire thing has been worth it or not. I need to get far enough away. Yeah, okay. Let's move a little bit further away and see whether they start to spawn. Actually, probably my best bet would be to go up to the AFK area. Oh, I forgot to finish that. Whoops. Hopefully we don't get many gas spawns. But let's have a look down here and see whether they start to spawn. Come on. Okay. New plan. Despawn all of the existing guys. Like so. And then as we move closer... Oh. I did... Yes, okay. So it looks like they're definitely moving towards it. Phew. So I'm going to add up a couple more layers, get all those eggs placed up through, make sure that they actually are all moving towards it, and then we'll pop back in and see what the rates are like. Oh, I'm so glad that worked. I got a little worried at one point there because as I was placing the eggs in, the piglins, like, they weren't going for it, the zombified piglins. But now, as you can see, they're pouring out of this system, absolutely raining down. Pretty good rates, I'd say. I'm about to go check. I've only just landed on this spawning platform and then I hit record. But yeah, look at that. They do come through in bursts. So we'll go down in just a minute and we'll have a look at those double chests and see how full they are. And then we can get to work on... I can't see myself through the glass. We'll get to work on our proper storage system that sorts through the gold nuggets and gets rid of all the unnecessary stuff. So I'm going to sit here for maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. As you can see below me, they're definitely pouring out. So at least I've done something right. I finished up the spawn proofing for ghasts on top, so no ghast should spawn up here. And I really like this. It's kind of cool. I like the look of gold farms. They're really, really fancy looking to me. So let's pop back down in just a second and see how much stuff we have in the chests. So we had a little bit of splash. Whoa. Why can't I say that word? Splashage. A little bit of overkill on the sides here. Just a couple hit the sides, I think. Oh, they're still raining down, so even though we've got this sorted. But let's pop down into this area. Got a lot of spawns as I started to come down closer. I don't know whether these guys are actually... Ooh. Might have to turn down my volume. I might have to... Well, obviously I'm going to get rid of this area, so there's not going to be spawnable space. But I'll have to make sure that the building that I do end up making underneath this is actually spawn-proofed on top so that we don't get these guys spawning. And that'll mean that this will be even more efficient. So... Okay. Yep, that's pretty good. Alright, let's have a look-see. That was only like 3 or 4 minutes up top. It's still pouring in, but this is close enough to... Ouch. I'm going to have to put some stuff away in here. And I need a workbench. Down. Let's pop right down and have a look-see at how much gold we just got in about, I'll say 4 minutes. Okay. That's not bad. What's that? 9 blocks in 4 minutes? If we estimated 10 blocks of gold every 5 minutes, that means that every hour we would get 120 gold blocks an hour? Okay. I have no idea whether that's good or not. But once we remove a little bit of the spawning space up there as well, it's not bad. Oh, wow. For some reason I failed to activate my elytra just then. Thank goodness for the fact that I put Feather Falling 4 on these Frostwalker boots. Oh my goodness. That could have just been me going absolutely splat. Okay, so while I heal up here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the order of what I said just before. I think I would like to build... Ow. I think I would like to actually build my dome thingy, whatever, base up here first. So dismantle all of this and build that so that this is the roof of it, and then I'll build my storage system underneath. So I know that we were just in a time lapse, but I'm going to pop back in. I'm not going to make it go for too long, and I'm just going to build up this this main one just in the center here, maybe the landing space as well, and then we'll pop back in for me to build the storage system. And welcome back. So, yeah, I mean, I got a little bit more to add to it, and it's sort of just floating here for now. I definitely want to add some chains and stuff, like on the bridge up onto this. And I feel like I need to remove a large section of the netherrack around here just so that I can easily get up through there, because I will eventually have to make a way, because at the moment, my way of getting up there is to try and fly through the gap like that, which I could do, but it's obviously not ideal. But this farm is definitely working. After I finished building this, I AFK'd for, I put a timer on for 10 minutes, and if I just pop into here, I think, yeah, so I got this much gold in 10 minutes, which is pretty good. Like, let's have a look. Okay, like exactly 3 stacks of gold blocks, not gold blocks, gold ingots in 10 minutes. So, yeah, that means that in an hour, it's 6 times 3, 18, which is 2 rows. So I'd get a double chest in 3 hours. Okay. I don't know whether that's good or not, but I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I'm ever going to need to have a faster gold farm than that. And with a little bit of work, just spawn proofing some of these spots, like that's obviously full blocks. And I think there's a couple of places up. Yeah, you can see there's just a few spots that having people spawn and be constantly spawned there, even though they do disappear when they're a distance away, it's still slightly taking up the mob cap. But for now, just having these chests there like that is obviously not ideal. And I want to set up a little spot in here that has some sorting to remove all of the gold nuggets from the rotten flesh. And then we can, I was looking at it, and that spot that I made down there is exactly below this block. And I was thinking that what I'll do is I'll actually make it up so that when I have these gold ingots, I want to be able to come over here and put them into a chest and see whether we can make it so that it drops every ingot directly down into there. And if I fly it down, we can have like a hopper minecart or something set up directly below that block in here. And that means that in our piglin trading hall, our gold storage is this little radio tower that we have over on the side. So it makes use of this space that I just sort of threw there for no reason. And it means that we have, like, walking into the side, we have a gold storage spot that is separate from what's going to be underneath this floor. That is our auto sorting for all of these piglin trades. So I think what I'm going to do is actually build this storage system off camera, because it's going to take me a lot of fiddling and working it out in my brain, and I'm going to struggle to commentate over top of it. I think if I build it all up, I can pop back in afterwards and actually explain how I have everything set up to you guys. And yeah, by that point, we'll have, you know, everything done and dusted, and next episode we can move on to making a piglin trading hall, which is the exciting part of all of this, because gold by itself is fine. Like, gold blocks can be used for some things, building and whatnot, but I really want to get a renewable source of blackstone, because I've definitely been using a lot of it in my nether builds, and I want to use a lot more. And having to go over and mine it from the different biomes in here is just tedious, when I could AFK, you know, make a cup of tea, watch some YouTube, and come back to a chest or two full of blackstone. So I'm going to see if I can come up with a design that evenly distributes and pulls out all the golden ingots? No, the gold nuggets, and gets rid of the rotten flesh. And then I'll pop back in and we'll discuss, well, we'll see whether I can make it to start off with. I've just come back from making myself a cup of tea. I decided to sit up here after making my my full sorting system for this gold farm. And so I've probably been gone for 10 minutes, maybe. And yeah, it looks like they're still pouring out, which is a plus. I died, unfortunately, the last time I was up here. I flew down and somehow just hit the ground softly and went pop. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But if we pop down here, I'm going to see how efficient it is. Now, by the looks of this, I think, as horrible as it is to say, I think I'm going to have to expand this entire thing by 1 so that I have a 7x7 hole, just to be safe so that we don't lose anything like this. Because if we just check, Like, it's not much, but every little bit counts, and I'd like to catch as much as possible. Some stuff does pop off the side as well. I don't know why, but a little bit premature. I didn't realize that I was already looking at it, but here it is. There is a convoluted mess down below, and let's pop in and have a look at it. So this is my made up storage system, and ooh, that's good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was not gone for very long, like maybe 15 minutes tops. So that's impressive. Anyway, so the way that I've done it is tried my best to equally split it 4 ways. Now, these 2 smaller sections actually have 1 or 2 less hoppers going into it, which is why they have a slight less amount of gold in there. There's a natural discrepancy where they spawn and drop, so there's going to be slightly different amounts in each chest. But my idea was to have these outside chests be the rotten flesh, which I might eventually add a burner to both sides. So sort of on the end here, that it collects in that chest and then it pops out the side and shoots it into lava, because I really don't need it. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why am I counting? 9, 10. 10 plus the 2 ones up there as well, just in case. 10 full double chests to collect the gold nuggets. So I think that'll do me. I think this is okay. It looks a little bit interesting, and it took some brain power to make it work. But essentially, it's just the same sorting system that I had for my mob farm, but spread around in a few different places and making sure that the flow of items worked correctly so that nothing got caught or there was no backups, like build-ups, I should say. So technically, it all should flow and sort itself into gold nuggets in these 2 chests and these 4, those sort of first 2 on either side here, and all rotten flesh will be sorted to the outsides. And as you can see up there, the individual slices that I have on either side actually have a chain of hoppers that run it back round and bring it straight back down into this sorter. So probably end up eventually when I open up the ceiling just here a little bit more, because right now the way that I get up is just sort of look at it like that and fly straight up. But I might, instead of having the glass here, create like some pipes or something around the side, just so that it looks a little bit more built in and industrial. But yeah, it's going to require a little bit of effort to sort of bridge out from these these edges and just open it up a little bit more, which I'll probably just do off camera while watching some YouTube or listening to a podcast or something like that. But I suppose what I should do is check how much I made with that one little AFK session. So, I'm full of junk. I did make a redstone box as well in the process of building this up, because having this, even though I've emptied a large majority of the stuff that I had in there, having it sort of available whenever we go anywhere in my ender chest is going to be very convenient. So I'm going to offload a little bit of my stuff and reorganize my inventory, because I still haven't done so since I died. Luckily, it was like on the nether roof, so I didn't actually lose anything, as far as I can tell anyway. So just going to dump all of this stuff, get rid of it. I'll keep that. Actually, yeah, that was stuff that I picked up. So that can go like that, and we'll see how much gold nuggets we have. So give me a second. And the answer to how much gold I got in, it is still an estimate. It was maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20, but 56 blocks. I mean, come on. Let's have a look. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, nearly 8 stacks of gold ingots. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm honestly happy with that. If I AFK for an hour, like if we said that I was gone for 20 minutes and I AFK for an hour, I'm going to get roughly 3 times that amount. So nearly 24 stacks of gold ingots. That's nearly a shulker box of gold ingots an hour. A shulker box of ingots an hour. Okay, I would call this gold farm a success. I I think it's successful. I'm sort of proud of myself. Like, I know that it does follow the basic mold that most or a lot of other farms already have, but I did do this myself. I didn't follow any tutorials. I'm sure it's probably not as efficient as it could be, but I mean, in reality, I could add more layers if I wanted more gold. I just don't think I need to. And knocking this hole through the the bedrock, even though I have a little bit more to do now, is still like super impressive to me. And yeah, other than a couple of little shelves like this that I want to open up, I'll probably go up and create like a ring that's got exposed bedrock and then taper it down on an angle if I can from there. We still get a couple falling in as they move through. I think if I do open it up to the 7, I might just slightly extend the hopper platform a little bit. But with that, these built, the gold farm built, the storage system built, I think I'm going to call it an episode. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I don't know whether it's good or not, but in my eyes, I'm pretty proud of this. I think it's a good system. It looks a little bit fancy, a little bit industrial, like a machine that's bringing in all our gold. I might use a couple more blocks of gold to decorate the outside a little bit. But the next episode, down below, where are we? Down here, we're going to find some piglins. We're going to set up a system to distribute the gold to them. And then I'm going to build a storage room underneath this floor. And we're going to have a proper piglin trading hall, gold farm setup going at once. And I'm excited. To the people who are still watching at this point, I know a lot of you are new and have come from TikTok, and there's been a big surge in subscribers recently, and I honestly want to say thank you so much. I am loving putting the effort in and making the things that I am on this Let's Play and filming these episodes. I'm really starting to find a real joy from doing it and having fun just creating new things and trying different looks. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I hope all you people who are watching so far are loving it as much as I am. So with that, I'm going to call it an episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back soon with another one when we make this piglin trading haul. And until then, like and comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be down in the comments having a chat with you guys, seeing what you think of the gold farm, seeing if you got any ideas. This is definitely not finished. I'm going to add some chains and probably expand it as we open up the roof. I think maybe I want to almost from the edge of those holding points there, open up a circular area above this that almost exposes most of the bedrock above so that it looks a bit grungy, a bit cool up there. But yeah, until then, again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the support. It's truly incredible. And until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.